Okay, we're going to talk about Wordle today, one of my favorite programs that I like to use at the beginning of a new lesson or a new unit or when I'm going to introduce a new topic. What Wordle is simply a word cloud creator. So if you go to www.wordle.net, notice it's .net and not .com or .org, you come to the home page and you can see some examples of other Wordles created. There's no need to log in. There's no fees. It's a free website that you can create your own word clouds. So I'm going to create. And the nice thing about it is I can just type in my information like this. Now, obviously, I would use some real things like I'm teaching fractions in math. So I might use fraction, mixed number, denominator, numerator, fraction bar, half, whole, third, fourth. Wish I could spell this morning, and so on. And then I'm going to click go. And what it's going to do is the Java screen is going to pop up and it's going to ask if it can run, and you're going to click run so it would create it. And here I have a Wordle. Now I can change the colors to anything I want. I can change the font. I can change the layout type. I can change the language. And here's my Wordle. You can save it, you can print it, you can open it into a new window, whatever you'd like to do. So what I usually do is I open it in a new window and I use my snipping tool, which is a great tool on a Windows machine. And I can just copy it like this. And then I can right click and I can save as whatever I want to save it. Now, I'm not going to save this right now. So I'm going to cancel that out and I'm going to go back to Wordle. And I'm going to go home and start a new one. Now, under Create, if you notice, there's a URL where you can just post the URL. So I'm going to actually do that right now. I'm going to open my blog that I use every day for my kids to keep up to date with my parents. And I'm going to copy my URL, and I used Control-C to copy it. And I'm going to insert it, and I'm going to click Control-V, which will post it. And I'm going to click Submit and see what my Wordle comes out with. And of course, why would it work for me right now? And it's not, because it appears it does not want to do that. So let me take out that and let me try one more time and submit it, and it's not going to work. It has worked before. I'm not exactly sure what its problem is today, but you know how technology is when you try to do something. One other way I use Wordle is when I introduce my science units. I have the kids sit in groups and we just brainstorm things about what they want to learn about after I talk about the topic. And one of those things is they come up with the vocab or words they might come across or want to know more about. So what I do with that is I enter them into a Wordle. So right now I'm teaching Earth, Moon, Sun. So one of them would be Earth, Moon, Sun, planets, stars, the Milky Way. Some of the other ones might be constellation, which I don't cover, but they like to talk about phases of the moon, eclipse. Then a lot of the times I like to list out the planets for me, which is really funny. Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Venus, and we'll stop right there. And we'll click go and we'll make a Wordle. And what I'll do with this Wordle is I'll actually print them out in color after we've changed it and made it look fun. This is one I like to use a lot because I like the dark background. It makes the words really jump out. And what I'll do with this is I'll print it and I'll pass it out as something just to have as, something we've created together, some words that they can see that show up a lot in Wordle. Save it. You can right click and remove the word. I got rid of the moon. It's just a nice way to show vocab in a fun way that involves the kids. I have had times when I've had each kid make a Wordle based on research that they've done or a different project for the book we're reading. One of the requirements is to make a Wordle of important vocab or topics that they wanted covered. And it really shows some important things in a fun way that's not so boring. So again, to recap, you want to open up, you want to go to www.wordle.net. You want to make sure your Java's enabled, and you want to go ahead and create your own. Paste in text, paste in a URL, just for fun. Let's see if I can paste in my website into the Wordle and see if that works, just to see, so you can see a website. And I'm not exactly sure why that's not working, because it's worked before with both of those. So I'm sorry that that didn't work and that I've just wasted your time talking about that. But entering the text, you can have it from a Word document. So if I open up my Word documents and I go into my language arts folders, and we'll see vocab, and we'll say this week I'm doing D3, which is a simulation for colonization. Let me just copy all that into there and go back, to Wordle. And I'm going to just paste it in, and there it goes. And I've got a crazy Wordle with different texts of words that show up. Notice the numbers didn't show up, or the periods or anything, just the words did. So it's just a fun way to give them information they need in a way that's not so boring.